Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Black Blaze Gaming. We are in it again, doing some more
Doing it.
rating of the DOJ. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Black Blaze Gaming. It is time. Oh my god, I am echoing back on myself again. God damn it!
Oh,
Kick.
good.
Rating of the DOJ. Seriously, Kick's dashboard is like so stupid. Anyways, hi everyone, we're back into it. There was a failed assassination attempt yesterday.
Yes, there was.
Don't know what the fuck that was about. Apparently, the guy who did it was like the suspect was actually a fucking game dev.
That's weird.
Yep,
What the hell?
he was an indie game dev. Apparently, he made some game that was like it was advertised itself as like a non-violent fighting game.
The fuck? What's the
Yeah.
point of having it be a fighting game then?
Well, it's probably some like it was something to do with I think chemical elements or something like that. So it was like I don't know. This just seems kind of silly to me. It might be an interesting concept. I just don't know how if it would actually be really something you could consider a fighting game because I haven't played it, but. And then the U.S. Federal government just passed one of the worst pieces of legislation I've ever heard of.
Oh god, what is it?
They are going to. I don't know how far it's gone yet, but it passed. I think the House, but basically they're going to require all vehicles to have a built-in AI that monitors you at all times while you're in the vehicle,
What?
and has the ability to shut off your vehicle if it thinks you're drunk.
Oh no, that's horrible.
Yeah, and I'm like, guys, I understand what like the moral grandstanding you're trying to pull here, but this is not the way. Surveillance,
No.
like what is going on with the surveillance state shit?
No, it's horrible. That's a really bad idea, especially because, like, do they not realize that AI can fucking... It fucks up all the time. So you could be driving down the highway, and then all of a sudden your car will just, shut off, and then you'll be thrown into a fucking, 12-car pile-up collision, and, tons of people will die.
And everything is
that
hackable.
is such a horrible idea. Yeah.
Everything's easy to sabotage. It can break really easily. Like and AI. I mean, this is the same tech that that can't even fucking tell the difference between a black person and a gorilla in an image, and it's gonna sit here and try to fucking choose. It's gonna try to determine whether you're fucking drunk or not. Fuck off. Because I know that there was a time too where they were trying to enforce like breathalyzers into vehicles, where the engine can't start if you don't pass the breathalyzer or whatever. And it's like, again, this is not how we do things, guys. What are we talking about? Because I get it, I do get it, but it simply is not the way to go about fighting these sorts of things.
Like, you know what would be better to try to help fight shit like this? Making public fucking transportation easier and more accessible.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, right? Is like public transportation. I mean, because then, like with stuff like that, you're putting that on the state side. It's not federal anymore. It's hard to fund. And one thing too is we have very spread out a very spread out landmass here in North America. Really hard to have like efficient like like cost-effective
Yeah.
transportation, public transportation.
Because like you have like it is good in like some cities, sure, and I mean in countries like Japan, where they live and thrive off of their like trains and stuff.
But they're also a very small country. They're about the size
Exactly.
of California or so.
Yeah.
I think even smaller, perhaps. I'm not quite sure, but I think they're a bit bigger, actually. But
And like the California has decent public transportation from what I remember. Because like you could take basically like a little train down to the Bay Area. It would be like 2 hours or whatever, and then you could take like trains to different stations within the Bay Area and things like that. And like it was decent.
yeah, but is there a high-speed rail from San Fran to L.A., for example? Or
I don't
Sacramento
know.
to L.A.
I don't know.
That's the thing. Is a country like Japan, they have it countrywide. You have transportation that can get you pretty much anywhere. And I mean, granted, that's not really. Because the thing is right, is like when you talk about like local public transport for drunk drivers, right, to prevent drunk drivers, you also have to have really good, efficient national public transportation that's also inexpensive. And the reason I say
Yeah.
that is because when you live in a country as big as the United States, you end up pretty much needing to have a car to get around because we don't have that kind of
Yeah.
transportation because it's too expensive for a landmass like this. So then if you already own a car, because the thing in Japan, most people don't own cars because
Yeah.
there's no need to. You can get everywhere you would ever want to go using public transport.
Going to Tokyo Eki.
Of course, it also comes with its own set of drawbacks we're all aware of when it comes to Japan.
Yeah. I don't know what specifically ones you were talking about, but
Well, you do.
I probably do.
Not gonna bring it up on stream, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Tell me afterward, because I probably
Sex
do know, but
offenders
it's
on the train.
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, and also severe overcrowdedness during the workday.
Yeah, which
It's been pretty bad.
leads to that stuff being perpetrated more.
I think one of the things too.
I'm close to this person.
Yeah, I think one of the things too is that we need to have, I think, better regulations when it comes to dealing with perpetrators who have been caught drunk driving. Because the number of times I've seen body cam footage, or just cases in general where they where the person has been caught like 17 times prior and still has a fucking license is crazy. It should not be happening that many times,
Yeah.
especially if the person has
No.
caused harm. Because like I understand if they're just driving kind of erratically, or they get or they
driving
get,
like below the speed limit.
yeah, or they get like caught, incidentally, like they get pulled over for something unrelated, and the cop realizes then that they have alcohol in their breath, but they weren't driving erratically. They just have like a tail light out or something. I can understand. Okay, well, this person may not be that dangerous of a driver, but then again, you don't know how drunk they were and stuff like that. It's like the number of times we allow repeat offenders to maintain having a driver's license is just. I don't get it. I genuinely do not get it.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like with drunk driving, I honestly, like, part of me wants to just crack down on it, like go full authoritarian on it, because like it is so easy to not drive drunk anymore. Like, you literally have no excuse. Just call an Uber, get a Lyft. Like, it is so easy to avoid doing it.
Granted, you have a bunch of places where they've banned Uber and Lyft and other ride-sharing services.
Why?
I
I think we talked about this before, but I can't remember.
I think, from what I recall, there was a lot of backlash from taxis, from like cab companies, Because basically every single
Hey,
cab
trying to
company,
work here.
every single cab company, in a lot of places, they basically, like, all the owners of these cab companies know each other and are in the business of basically working together to rip people off. Especially because what is the number one use case for a taxi? Getting home drunk from the bar. How easy is it to swindle somebody who's intoxicated? Very easy.
Very.
And Uber and Lyft had come along and had basically put the kibosh on that because the driver can't adjust anything on their they can't adjust the fare or anything like that, whereas taxi drivers absolutely can. And there was previously no way to track the route that a cab driver was taking, unless you try to memorize it yourself. But if you're drunk, hard to do. Cab drivers would often take the longer route because the drunk teenagers in the back seat aren't going to fucking, not teenagers, but you know what I mean, or young adults in the back seat aren't going to fucking notice most of the time. And so when Uber came to where I live, there was a huge backlash from the cab companies. They were trying to stop it, and several places in Canada they succeeded. They didn't manage to succeed here in Edmonton. But yeah, that shit, like, it was genuine good competition, and it made all the cab companies have to start lowering their fares because they couldn't compete. And then Uber drivers had to start, like, Uber had to start raising its fare because there was issues that they were facing, I think, too.
Oh, hell yeah, we got this stupid fucking, like, car wash music on.
Yeah.
I love how unfitting it is. Like, it's like so fucking funny.
It's like a fucking PSA about the heat in summertime or something like that. It's really weird. It's like a public access television
Make sure you don't get heat syncope.
This is what they play in between commercials on like and the music on fucking yacht rock radio on Sirius.
Exactly.
We have 4 key cards today, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that too. Ding 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 and ding 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 ding. Need more cowbell. So yeah, I'm hearing people saying that they think that the assassination attempt last night was fake. I don't know if I believe that. But it does kind of, like, rub me the wrong way that, like, the president used that excuse to be like, see, that's why we need to have my ballroom.
Yeah, that was really weird. I don't know exactly what happened with that, but I heard someone comment about it, and I'm like, what? How would that help him get a ballroom?
Yeah, because he's like, see, so now we have, like, I'll have a secure, safe place so that these things don't happen.
It's no more secure than where they were. There's still Secret Service there. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like,
well, because, like, I was talking with my family earlier about it, and because, like, they were trying to get, because, like, I was just initially like, I mean, if it is, like, not like a psyop or whatever, which I think it was probably a real attempt. I don't think it was fake, but, like, that means that their security there was pretty bad, because, like, how the fuck could they have passed through a metal detector with a gun, you know?
Oh no, he straight up sprinted past it.
Oh my god. Okay, well.
Yeah, there's video footage of the hallway where he first passed the metal detector, basically, and he, like, you just see at the end of a fucking hallway, this guy sprints around the corner and straight through the checkpoint, basically.
Jesus.
And dude was booking it, like, he was fast. And the Secret Service agents were not exactly on their weren't the most alert motherfuckers in the room, because it took them a second to even realize somebody was sprinting. I'm like, how do you not hear it? Like, they were on, like, tile floors. You definitely, or something like linoleum or something like that. You definitely hear somebody sprinting at full speed down a hallway like that.
Yeah,
'cause it
that's
also
what I
would
mean. I think
echo.
their security was shit.
But yeah, and then I saw some really stupid comment from somebody saying like, "Oh, why did Trump why did Trump wait a few seconds before looking up to see what was happening after the gunshots went off when the guy right
He's a
next to him
fucking,
looked
like,
up immediately?" And I was
he's
like,
an old fart.
well, it's not even true, because the guy next to him also like took several seconds after the gunshots were fired before he looked up. The only reason either of them actually ended up looking up in the first place was not because they heard gunshots, but because a Secret Service agent climbed up the front of the the stage where they were on to stand in front of Trump and shield him. That's the only reason either of them looked up. It's because like even in the video footage, like the video footage audio is not really that good. But in the video footage, it's hard to tell that those sounds were even gunshots to begin with. Everybody in the room was also like unsure of what was happening.
I thought it might have been like a tray falling or something.
Yeah, everyone in the room like was pretty unsure what was happening. It was only people closer to the door that started to react more quickly, and they were more reacting to the Secret Service reaction than they were the actual gunshots themselves.
Because he had like a pistol, right? Like it was a semi-auto weapon, not an automatic.
I think so. I'm not exactly sure, but
because like if it was like an automatic weapon and you heard it, I feel like that would be a lot easier to tell. Oh, that's a gun, rather than
where did
a pistol.
Where did this correspondence thing take place?
It was in some hotel.
Yeah, no, I mean what city?
I don't know.
Because like
I would assume DC.
Automatic weapons are
but
illegal in most places in the U.S.
Yeah.
Not that it's impossible to get your hands on automatic weapons, of course, because illicit deals
School
do
shootings
exist.
happen.
Well, most school shootings are not performed with automatic weapons.
Oh, I thought they were.
No, I'm pretty sure they're like the most common weapon used in or weapon type used in mass shootings, I believe, is a pistol, usually a semi-auto.
Really?
Yeah, they're easier to carry. They're easier to conceal. They can, depending on the exact one you have, they can have a pretty decent magazine capacity. And still deal like decent damage for what they are, right? So, oh, I don't have a key card. God damn it!
Oh, hold on. I'll do it. You take care of the captain. I'll get security stuff started.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was faked. I think it was actually real, but I also think that it was really weirdly opportunistic that he brought up his ballroom.
Yeah, I thought that was cringe.
Yeah, and of course, using an assassination attempt to inflate your own ego again too. It's just like time and place, dude.
Well,
there
and that's
will
sort
be
of
accountability.
That's sort of the shit that I say about like school shootings. People try to politicize school shootings or any sort of like murder or violent crime in order to push an agenda to like take away guns or something like that. I always think it's really like disappointing because like they're like, well, guns are the tool that people are using to commit these crimes, and it's like, yeah, but they're already crimes. Adding another crime to the stack doesn't make them less likely to happen. Like, what are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't try to push like the good guy with a gun narrative either, because it's like most people aren't, even people who have a weapon and are trained with it may not even have any sort of combat experience, so they might not even have have it in them to even stand up and fight against somebody who is enacting a shooting or something, right? Like
Exactly.
That, right?
They probably just went through the training to be able to own said gun and have it, like, have a license to carry it openly or concealed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I also wanted to bring up something too. So, like, I've mentioned in the past how, Erica Kirk gives me heebie-jeebies. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, you know, I'm not. I'm the first one to say that I don't like her behavior since her husband was assassinated, but people were mocking her for a video of her crying, being escorted out. And I think it's a little bit strange to do that. Like, why would you make, like, she saw her husband die?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, being in the room with another assassination attempt would be re-traumatizing. And of course, people were like, oh, well, her husband would tell her that, crying over gun violence is bad and stuff. It's like, if this was anybody but, because
He absolutely
because
would not.
Well, no, here's the it's because they keep taking this one thing that Charlie Kirk said where it's like, oh, gun violence is like I don't know the exact quote, but it was like, gun violence is a necessity if you have guns or whatever. I don't know.
It's an inevitability.
Yeah, but they're using that and twisting it to be like, oh, well, he says, there's no reason to be upset over it because it's just a a fact of life and stuff. And it's like, if this was anybody but Erica Kirk, and if it was like, let's say, Renee Good's wife, who was in that room somehow and was freaking out and crying, they would be like, oh, well, she had to watch her wife get shot in the face and stuff. And it's like, yes, because gun violence is terrible.
Yeah, well,
political violence is horrible, and it just. And I'll say it again for people in the back. I am the first person to say that I do not like Erica Kirk. I'm sorry. She makes me feel weird. I get bad vibes.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I can feel empathy for someone that I dislike. Because having to go through a traumatic event,
mm-hmm.
staged or whatever or not, it doesn't matter. I don't think it was staged personally, but it's just like, I don't know, it just really bugs me. It just really bugs me because I know that if things were flipped and if it was another person in that position, they would have a completely different story to tell on that. And it's just like, I just wish that we had some decorum still.
Hmm.
And again, this is coming from a pro Erica Kirk hater. I wouldn't say an actual hater, but you know what I mean. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it just really rubbed me the wrong way because it's like, and I think this woman actually was crying. Like she looked distraught. So I wasn't there or whatever. I don't think she was faking it though. So it's just, I don't know. It just really bothered me because I'm like, I don't know. Just common sense, I feel like, has gone out the fucking window. And there's another argument I hear where it's like, well, they wouldn't have the same empathy for us, and it's like, I don't care about that though.
You have to be better than them. That's the point. If you're so much more, if you're so morally superior, prove it.
Yeah. And I guess that's going to make me a black sheep because I'm not, on one side or the other explicitly, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
at least with this situation.
I mean, it's sort of like, because like the whole Charlie Kirk thing about gun violence or whatever. My parents also like fucking misunderstood that quote because of course it's not like they've watched the original clip or anything like that.
No.
But misunderstood
like a cardinal sin, probably.
misunderstood it and used it when they were basically yelling at me for saying that celebrating a political assassination isn't really a good thing.
Yeah. Which again, like, you know, I don't like. It's hard because, like, you know, I feel like I go back and forth with it because I'm like, part of me just wants this whole thing to be over, but I'm like, if anybody is assassinated and stuff, it's just gonna throw shit into fucking upheaval, and it's gonna make things 10 times worse.
Well, to me, it's reminiscent of. I'll go get the door. To me, it's reminiscent of the Me Too movement in a certain sense. You know, they uncovered there was some shit going on in Hollywood because, of course, there was some shit going on in Hollywood.
Because it's Hollywood. They were built on fucking exploitation and shit. Oh god, I'm blind. Okay. But then it just went like just completely haywire.
Well, instead of taking their findings to the proper authorities to use the already established legal system that we have to put these criminals away, they decided to do a witch hunt and handle it all in the court of public opinion, which is a fucking farce. And a lot of people were caught in the crossfire or just straight up like dragged, lost their whole livelihood, their whole careers over nothing, over false accusations. And lots of people were exposed, but it just created an upheaval of people who were pissed off at all these false accusations that were being flung around, and this, you know, overreaction to anything that ever happened. And now what do we have? We have a bunch of people who've replaced the people who fell in that debacle, who are incompetent and they're terrible and they aren't good replacements, and we now have a really shitty entertainment industry that's constantly fucking putting out tripe after tripe after tripe.
It's just slop.
Yeah, and now everybody is more sensitive to any sort of garbage that, like, you know, like we have more sensitivity on both sides, because we have one side that's like pissed off that somebody would find like inspiration to start a family because of a game like Pragmata, and then you have people who are, you know, hypersensitive in the other direction of like, oh, they put a man's jawline on this female character in this new game. It's probably slop.
Let's transvestigate Peach from Mario, guys.
Yeah, and I mean it's rough. I mean, it's like, you know, you had people a while back were saying Birdo is trans in Mario, and I'm like, how the fuck is she trans? What's trans about Birdo? And the only thing that they could cite.
Yeah. So go ahead.
The only thing that they could cite was that the original manual for the game that she debuted in referred to her as a male with male pronouns, but it was a mistranslation from Japanese. The same thing that happened to Samus. But why would they be referring to her as a male when she wears a bow? Like, she has the reproductive organs of a female, wears a bow on her head. She's very clearly presenting as a female and is biologically a female. So, where's the trans part? Just the mistranslation in the manual? All right.
Yeah, because like they always go to Birdo, but they forget that there's like, I'm pretty sure in, correct me if I'm wrong though, in Paper Mario there's a character, and in the Japanese version there was a part of the character where it turns out that like, she was bullied by her brothers because she was actually a boy but liked to dress up like a girl. But then in the American version, they changed it and got rid of that.
Yeah,
and I
she's
can't.
actually canonically trans. That's Vivian, I think her name is. I haven't played
Yeah,
Paper
that's
Mario,
it.
but I'm
Yeah.
familiar with the character. That one's
Yeah,
actually
Vivian.
trans.
Mhm. But people always go to Birdo for some reason, even though apparently it's a mistranslation. And to be fair, I was one who like had kind of like fallen for that misinformation. I was like, oh, I guess it's kind of like Vivian, but it's not in this case.
Well, and I don't even know.
It's
This is where my knowledge as a video game historian kind of falls apart, because I don't actually know if the design of Birdo was original to Super Mario 2, or if it was original to, or if it was original to Doki Doki Panic, because that's sort of the interesting thing, is that what we know as Super Mario 2 here in the West is not Super Mario 2. It is a game called Doki Doki Panic that when they brought to North America, they changed it, put a Mario skin on it, called it Mario 2. And the actual Mario 2 wasn't released until later and is now called The Lost Levels.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
So Doki Doki Panic was it? So okay. So was Birdo the protagonist of Doki Doki Panic then? Or
No, Birdo
what?
is a boss you fight in Super Mario 2. What I'm saying is
Okay.
that I don't know if the design of that boss was something they made. It was one
For
of the things
Mario.
that they like they changed its look for
Okay.
the North American release, or if it was the same, if it looked the same back in the original Doki Doki Panic. Because like I said, Super Mario 2, the way we know it, doesn't exist in Japan under the same name, right? So.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because like for some reason I always thought that like Birdo, before I heard like the trans rumor about her, but the thing I thought about Birdo was like I always assumed that she was basically like a Toad and Toadette thing, except with Yoshi. Like she was supposed to be a female version of Yoshi for some reason. But I
Interesting.
don't think that's the case.
Well, Yoshi didn't exist at the time.
Really? So it was
Yeah,
Birdo
Yoshi
first
didn't
and
show
then
up until
Yoshi?
Super Mario World, which was on Super Nintendo.
What?
Hmm.
That's so weird.
That's like 3 games later, or 2 games later, something like that.
That's crazy because, like, I mean, Yoshi is like a staple character within Mario now.
Yeah,
I thought he
because
was there from at least Mario 2.
yeah, no, Mario 1, Mario 2, of course, North American Mario 2, and then Mario 3. There's no Yoshi in any of those. And then the first mainline Mario game on the Super Nintendo was Super Mario World, which brought in, of course, the feather cape transformation and Yoshi. And then there was also a game on Super Nintendo that is a masterpiece called Yoshi's Island. It has one of the it's a game with a mechanic that on paper nobody would ever consider putting in a game in the modern era. And it is not a fun mechanic. I will say that. It's not the most fun mechanic ever, but it is an interesting mechanic, and it is still a great game, regardless of the goofiness of having a baby crying on your game all the time. But
Just gonna toss my baby Mario off a cliff. Thank you.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And then, of course, they went on to Yoshi's Story on the or in 64, and then what was the next Yoshi game?
Was it Yoshi's Island or you?
No, Yoshi's
no, that
Island
was the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
Okay.
And then it was Yoshi's
Yoshi's
Story,
Island, Yoshi's Story,
and then Yoshi's.
Yoshi and the Pussycats.
I don't remember.
Look
Because I
up
know
really
there's
quick.
like Yoshi's Woolly World now too and stuff like that. But either way, but yeah. So that'll do it for today's raid on the DOJ. I'm skipping the Divinity stream today because I need a break. I'm not doing so good today, so we'll be back tomorrow with more of this and hopefully more of that. So tune in for that, and we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.